don't tell me this artist that I really like is actually using AI. No, please, please, no, don't do this to me. No, that's like the biggest betrayal. Well, guys, in really, really tragic news today, it's finally happened to me. There's an artist that I actually knew and really likes that I found out uses AI, and I didn't know until literally now. And I'm so sad because they're so good. This is the artist in question. Yuumei art. They make really beautiful art. Example of one of their art pieces. Example of one of their art pieces. Example of one of their art pieces. But they have a really, really pretty art style. They posted this July 13th. 1,000 skies. This one truly took so long to paint, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. I've always loved the Impressionist art style, so it's been a blast studying the works of Monet and modern Impressionists and adding my own touch to the skies as well. Then we have a reply from Rick the rabble-rousing Luddite, anti-AI. Are you still using AI? With screenshots of old tweets from Yuumei. I, for one, am ready for our robot overlords. Testing the new DALL-E image generator AI. Again, DALL-E is AI. It's so good already that I barely have to paint over anything to make it look professional. Kudos to all the geniuses at OpenAI. You guys are amazing. For another piece, the background for this new painting was generated in Stable Diffusion Rights using one of their old pieces left as reference seed. Then I painted over the AI background to add details that I like. I would argue the only way I could be okay with art is if the model is only trained off of your art. If you somehow have a model that is only trained off of your artwork and it's outputting more of artwork for yourself that you consented to. I could argue if there was a closed system like that, then I could be okay with it. As far as I know, that doesn't exist. We have responses from users like Jittery stating, "Oh, that's disappointing and kind of heartbreaking. They seem like such a skilled artist, but I appreciate the warning that they use AI." And Rick says, "Yep," with a screenshot of DMs. This is DMs between some people and Yuumei. I haven't followed them for that long, but I've been kind of like keeping up with their art for at least like 2 years now. This is from 2023 in September. So this is about 8 months ago. Visenia says, "I wonder if at some point artists can use AI to their advantage. Like if an artist, say, developed a style over time, fed their art into AI, and the AI could now generate art for them at record speed. Now that artists can make more of their own art and sell it. Maybe give a small commission to the AI software people. I think that would be cool." Buttershy says, "Yuumei is basically doing that or planning on doing that. It's pretty cool." Yuumei says, "Yeah, that's my plan for future comic making, but the tech is not quite there yet. While AI is capable of generating very pretty art, its language model is bad at understanding what the user wants. It works if you want any generic looking pose or topic, but if you want something more specific, it won't understand you at all. ControlNet is probably the way to go, but even then that can't handle multiple characters at the same time." And then we have people pointing out inconsistencies in their current art piece that would indicate AI. So we have Yakova stating, "Seems like it." So this is in the current art piece. They're circling elements of their hands that look really odd. And we have Castlelet. I mean, obviously, yeah. As you can see here, if we open this up, you can see the birds are being really wonky. Like how this bird looks really weird and glitchy, and it's like glitching into the bottom of the painting here. That's something AI tends to do because AI doesn't know continuity. Also, what bird has 4 wings? That's why it looks odd. And the hand thing, I believe it's odd because this person is holding a paintbrush between the pinky and the ring finger, except the paintbrush would extend. Like if you hold it in that pose, you would still be able to see like of the paintbrush. You can't see that here. Maybe they forgot, but I have a hard time believing an artist like Yuumei who can draw pieces so intricately that detail. Maybe they did. The hands do look a little bit odd, especially the thumb. But maybe you could argue, you know, that's just dumb. And then if you go on Twitter and you use an advanced search where you search for Yuumei art and you search for any instance of them using the word AI, you'll find a lot more tweets. They've been using AI even as far back as January 10th, 2019, with them stating, "Made this whale over a year ago for a secret project I'm still working on. Last night I decided to try out Clip Studio Paint's auto colorizer feature. I set the reference colors and the rest is done by AI. Really liking the result." So here's Yuumei, June 2nd, 2022, stating, "The robot overlord comment is a joke for those who missed it. I don't see the AI as better than me. I see it as a new tool. I will be using it as such to speed up my art creation process." We have them replying to somebody else stating, "Yep, it's a heavily painted over version of an AI background where I use one of my old drawings as a seed reference. Here's a more detailed process with step-by-step images." So this was one of their old posts about AI on June 2nd, 2022, showing the AI usage. Then we have Aura Hack stating, "This is really upsetting. Post either way, but if this is a sponsored thing, it should probably be disclosed that it is a sponsored thing." So obviously Aura is upset that an artist like Yuumei would be using AI, but they're trying to give Yuumei an out. They're trying to give them a benefit of doubt. Yuumei says, question mark, question mark, question mark. "I'm not sure why you consider this upsetting. It's not sponsored. OpenAI is free, hence the quote open end quote part of their name. Like open source tech. Anybody can sign up to test out the new DALL-E AI. I thought people would be excited for such advancements in technology." The issue is not the free or paid. The issue is you as an artist should understand the art theft that happens with AI. Aura says, "I don't find it especially exciting to see being posted as means to shortcut artwork when this profession is already undervalued and underappreciated as it is, especially since machine learning doesn't generate anything out of thin air. So here again was that original post of them saying, oh, they painted the one on the right and the AI generated one is on the left. So here is another post. I just got access to DALL-E, the new AI image generator. So of course, the first thing I create is a pack of royal huskies, them showing themselves using AI. So yeah, this is pretty disheartening to see, honestly. It's always so sad when you see people use AI, especially artists. You, out of all people, should understand the art theft that happens with AI and how it hurts artists. So this is really sad to see, especially because I am somebody that enjoys their artwork, or I guess did in the past before I knew they were using AI. So I personally am just really disappointed. Oh, and there's more examples. Here, June 13th, this is another DALL-E generated image that I painted over. So obsessed with this new tool, it's going to be game-changing for creatives everywhere. So AI generated that they painted over. This is a paint over test for DALL-E. The prompt was a magical library covered in plants and stars in the ceiling. And it generated this image, and then they painted over this image. All the lines are crooked. I mean, I hope they can be better. I hope they can do better. They don't seem like they want to do either. So it is what it is, I guess. They have a video of doing time-lapse on their previous piece. Yeah, I mean, like, they clearly have insane art talent. Insane. It's just they're choosing to use AI. Here is Yuumei's response. I've been told that there are rumors about me using AI for my paintings. Please use some common sense. I've been posting on DeviantArt since 2003 and sharing full video recordings on my Patreon since 2018. If I'm a fake, wouldn't my Patrons have noticed by now? Well, here is a sketch that they provided for this painting of theirs that was accused of AI usage, which did have some suspicious behavior in it to me. Since AI has been turning artists against each other, accusing each other of using AI, I have no choice but to share some of the Patreon rewards as proof. Here is the 10 full video recordings of me painting 1,000 skies from scratch. Oh, so they have a full video recording of the drawing process, the original sketch, they changed it. How do they paint the birds? Some of the birds look kind of wonky, but maybe it was an accident. Oh, I guess they literally gave this bird another leg on purpose. Okay, this one was just one that I thought maybe they used AI for part of the birds or something, because the bird had 3 wings. I mean, they literally show themselves drawing the 3rd wing in, so I guess they literally did it? Question mark, I don't know. Yeah, well, I guess they literally drew it in, so I was wrong. My bad. I'll admit when I was wrong. Maybe it's 2 different birds on top of each other. That's true. It could be. It just looks like it's an AI artifact, you know? Well, that's like over here. Okay, I was wrong. They hand drew that bird in. I mean, to be honest though, it does look like a bird with 3 wings. I'm just saying. And I'm not trying to say that to shit on their art in any way, just their art is really, really good. So I just didn't think they would draw a bird with 3 wings. But maybe I don't see the vision, dude. Maybe I'm not a visionary like that. No, they're not mad at this piece specifically. They are, but they're mainly mad because Yuumei vocally supports AI art. When AI was at its infancy, I was very excited to have a new tool to help me make comics. Longtime followers would know I struggled with repetitive strain injury that forced my comic making to a crawl. A decade before AI, I was experimenting with 3D backgrounds for comics. I still remember the hate I got for using 3D models in my comic backgrounds, even though today nobody blinks at other artists doing the same. 3D is now accepted as a tool to help artists create. I even remember the hate for being digital instead of traditional. So they're basically here trying to imply that the hate they're receiving for AI art is going to be in the same line as like hating for using other tools like 3D models, etc., to speed up the art process, which is something that a lot of artists like to say when they're defending AI art. I tested out painting over AI-generated backgrounds a few times in the very early stages of AI. There is a lot of screenshots taken out of context from my Discord where I share how I paint everything with complete transparency. The only other time I've used AI is for a gag scene in my comic. The full context is my character Vance, who is a weeb and a tech nerd, was objectifying women by seeing them as anime catgirls pasted over AI flower backgrounds. Here is an example of the art. The background is very clearly AI flowers. If I had downloaded a flower stamp brush from Clip Studio and made a similar flower background, nobody would care. But somehow this is not okay, even though it fits the theme and joke of the comic. It's not, but we'll dive into why. The, quote, AI is bad for the environment, end quote, argument forgets that painting on my computer uses electricity. I, the human being, eats food and creates carbon footprints. It's 2 a.m. where I am now, so I won't say much else other than I wish people would stop taking my posts out of context. I don't think anybody did. With everything going on in the world, artists should support each other, not make up reasons to hurt each other. So we have Nimu stating, I'm sorry that I have doubted you, but there are so many artists that use AI and try to make their own creations, and for me it's literally a scam, no less. I'm not against AI per se in some fields, medical, etc., and we can argue that digital art relies on AI too, different from analog art. But AI is fed upon works from artists that didn't want it happened. Their art is used without their consent nor acknowledgement and without royalties. Time is money. I think it would be very sad if people fed your art into AI and could produce art that sell well enough for them to make a living without doing nothing. I think you would feel used, and that's why AI is bad for for art. As a client of art, I don't want to buy just beautiful pictures. I want to buy an artist's view of the world, efforts and dedication to recreate something intangible into something tangible. It's the process that has value too. I do think this is very well written. The second half of what this person wrote, I really do agree. Yuumei replies, people already use my art to feed AI. Hence, it's all the more sad that people accuse my 100% hand-drawn paintings as AI without any evidence. As proof, you can see all the recordings here. Nimu says, thank you. It's sad that artists have to prove that they don't use AI, but that's how you can feel that the opinion of the subject are extremely polarized. The mood in the art field has become very dreadful because of that. Is a lot or all of Yuumei's paintings legit? Potentially, right? No one is denying the fact that Yuumei is a talented artist. Yuumei is an extremely talented artist. Yuumei has been drawing for a very long time. Yuumei is an artist that has inspired so many people to make art, myself included. The thing is, like, Yuumei is extremely talented. And they are also an artist that has experimented with using AI in their art process. They have stated that they do want to do it. They stated they actively support AI art. They've also literally used AI in their process. Did they paint over probably like 99% of it? Yeah. But is it still used in their process? Yes, because I've already showed you. They themselves had said it. That's what I don't understand. And the whole argument they put here, I can see, right? They spent 10 tweets explaining how that piece specifically didn't have AI. But the biggest overarching argument that people have with Yuumei and their dissatisfaction with Yuumei is that they were like, we trusted you, and now we found out you have been extremely vocal about supporting AI art. It's two different things. Everyone's main criticism is their insane support of AI art and their heavy support of AI art. Our criticism is not necessarily with individual pieces they have of it looking suspicious, you know? It's mainly with their overarching thing. Katra says, it isn't that people are accusing you of covertly using AI because of your style or whatever. People are just following up on the statements you have made yourself. Have your stance on AI changed? Do you now see all the issues surrounding the tech? Why not say so? Because again, that was the main issue. Yuumei says, yes, I see the issue, which is why despite my early hopes of using it to help my comics due to my hand pain, I still have not used it, other than that flower gag scene. I wish I can just plug my brain into the computer and make my comics without hands because they hurt. Katre says, then openly stating so would be a lot more beneficial than making it sound like people's legit and evidence-backed concerns are actually baseless accusations rooted in maliciousness and ignorance. Get some rest, and when you can, consider this. And they quote retweeted this tweet that Yuumei said, stating, thank you. I'm so sad for all the young artists who started drawing after the existence of AI. At least I can point back to my decades-old DeviantArt account and all my video recordings as proof. Aim says, that's what I was so confused about when they said it was, quote, rumors, end quote, because the first tweet I saw about it was literally somebody with screenshots of them saying on their own main Twitter account that they used it and asking, quote, do you still use AI, end quote. Like, that's not just rumors. And again, here are some of the examples. Here's examples of Yuumei in a reply to comparison with all artists in Stable Diffusion stating, LOL, yeah, I've seen these all over the place. None of the artist names match their real style. What's funnier is that users think it's a great match. I've read debates where they wonder how will anybody tell if an artist actually painted over this or if somebody just typed by Yuumei or whatever. And I was like, but none of these look like anything like my art or Ross Draws or Loish, etc. Anyways, I like AI art and I plan on training one of my own comic panels to help me make future comics. I also understand a lot of other artists feel ripped off by the use of their work in the AI training data, and that's their right. But this is not my fight. I'm on the side of advanced technology. So in an old screenshot, words out of Yumei's own mouth, they stated, yep, I acknowledge AI's fucked up, but I'm on the side of technology. I'm gonna keep using it. Another example of Yuumei in their own Discord on April 17th, 2023, so a little bit over a year ago, stating, testing out AI-generated art base to paint over for my comics. Fisheye Placebo is the name of their comic. So here is the AI raw image, and then there was the paint over. So I think this is the AI, or wait, this is the paint over, I believe. Basically, I left the background untouched other than some color tweaks. The current AI model can't handle precise descriptions, but I plan on trading my old model using my Fisheye Placebo comic panels to match the style. Again, the issue is the fact that they are blatantly supporting AI art. It's words out of their own mouth. And that Yuumei responded to that, stating, this test image wasn't even part of Patreon because I don't even consider it art. It was like testing, like I said. Everything I share on my Patreon, I also share with video recordings. That's how the tiers are set up. But here's the thing. It feels like, again, we're speaking two different languages. Yuumei is stating, I don't consider this art. This isn't something that I've ever called my art. But basically, What people are actually complaining about is the fact that Yuumei is speaking vocally and with full intention, with their full chest, stating, here is me trying to practice with AI art to then incorporate it into my process. Everything that Yuumei says about AI art, they're stating with the intention to incorporate it into their process in the future. They are working on incorporating AI art into their processes in the future. And they have vocally said that time and time again, and we can pull up even more screenshots to prove it. That is the main issue people are having. It is because they have been historically supportive of AI art, historically with the positive intention of incorporating it into their own processes. So of course now people are going to turn around and be suspicious about your artwork if you've so vocally supported it. In my opinion, I don't think it's right for you to turn around and then be so surprised that people are accusing you of AI art if you have vocally been like, here's how I practice AI art, here's how I try to generate stuff, here's how I've tried using it in my comics. It's not like up to my standards yet, but hopefully it can be in the future. If you have such positive undertones about, you know, your intents and practices of using AI art in your process, you can't be surprised people now think, now we're in the future, that you use AI art in your processes if they make this assumption, because this is a future that you yourself have stated you're working towards. Do I think they're immensely talented and they drew like most of their stuff themselves? Yes. Do I think they're behind the scenes secretly and actively trying to incorporate AI into their systems? Yes. I do think so. Again, just to refresh your memories, we have even more screenshots testing out the new DALL-E image generator. Here's the AI image. Here's my paint over. Kudos to all the geniuses at OpenAI. The background of the new painting was generated in Stable Diffusion, right? They flipped it. They flipped it, by the way, using one of my old paintings left as the reference seed. So their old painting for the reference seed was actually the right image, and then the Stable Diffusion was the left image. Painted over the AI background to add details that I like. I don't care if you don't consider AI art to be art. I don't consider it to be art either. But if you're actively posting about this shit on your main Twitter page, incorporating, look at my art, look at AI art, here's how I made the AI art better with my adding my own artwork over it. Come on, bro. I don't think you're stupid, but there's no way you don't realize that people are going to make this connection, right? You can't be so surprised that people are making a connection like this now. I just think it's like ludicrous to be surprised about this. So we have some more comments from people. Seraphy VT says, I think for a lot of us who have admired you for years and know about your struggle with your pain, we just want to know if you support AI for art. Most of us know you don't use it, but to see you support it on any level is painful to see for those of us who have looked up to you. Saguro says, you were the first artist I ever followed on DeviantArt when I was a young teenager and a huge inspiration to me of the power of human imagination in creating art. I am incredibly disappointed in you. Charisse Baum says, these last 2 points in your thread are so contradictory to your actions and who you claim to be. It's not even funny. The environmental impact is not comparable and it's not supportive to other artists to use the theft machine for any reason. I really won't believe you unless you firmly state you are 100% against AI now and in its current form using stolen datasets, which you seem to completely avoid doing through all of this. Using AI art is not comparable to using a freely given brush/model either. Using it as a tool is exactly what tech bros want. MP Love to Hate says, I really loved your art. I really did. It always reminded me of how impossibly beautiful dreams can be, but this is truly disappointing. I know a follower less doesn't really matter, but this is it for me. I hope you keep reaching people that will generally support you too. 3R1093 says, I don't think anybody intelligent is debating whether you are an AI artist or not. Oh, but there definitely are disappointing posts here too. I think it's fair to look at 2022 OpenAI fangirling as ignorance, but the narrative about 3D/stamp brushes deflecting eco stuff makes me sad. Because again, let me remind you, Yuumei was like, oh, you know, if I used a stamp brush and like painted a bunch of flowers, nobody would blink an eye. So why is it bad for AI? Because artists, when they make brushes and stuff, as long as you acquire it legally, is perfectly okay to use. If it's a free brush and there's no like credit requirements, whatever, you know, use it for your heart's desire. Nothing wrong with that. AI is making and profiting off of the stolen artwork of other people, of other artists. That is where the two is wrong. What would make the brush wrong is if you pirated the brush from an artist and then used the pirated stamp brush to paint flowers. That is also bad. It's that type of argument. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, cloud brushes, don't worry about it. Basically, Yuumei is an artist that is extremely talented, that people have loved, myself included, and they have a very, very, very strongly positive stance on AI art. So anyways, that is the conclusion and the response that Yuumei had. I still think at the end of the day, is Yuumei's art beautiful? Yes. Is Yuumei extremely talented? Yes. I'm really sorry if they're experiencing hand pain. I truly hope nobody ever suffers pain and things that would limit their career in any way and their habits and passions, but that's just life. And sometimes life do be the way it is, you know. I've been having a lot of wrist pain and it makes editing trying hard. It does make drawing hard too, so I can't do it in high frequency, which it is what it is. We have to take steps to try to take care of ourselves, but if it does strike down, then you try to find other alternatives. But alternatives don't have to be AI art. There's an artist that I love called Zeranis, who has experienced a lot of hand and wrist pain to where he can't draw with a drawing tablet anymore. But his alternative instead is to then train his screen tablet to have it set so that he draws with his finger instead. He draws on an iPad with his finger, because instead of doing the minute brush strokes with a tablet, which hurts his wrist, the finger and the whole hand motions, he's able to still draw like that. That is an alternative around hand and wrist pain potentially, where you can still make your artwork in an ethical way. And you don't need to go down the AI art route. I think the problem at the end of the day is, if you are an artist, even if you are an extremely talented artist with a history on DeviantArt, if you are somebody who is extremely vocal about AI art and has over time vocally talked about your intentions of incorporating AI art into your processes in the future, now we are inside future, it's 2024 now, those posts are made 2023, people are going to assume and make the assumption that there is AI in your processes. And again, it's one of those things where it's an integrity as an artist. And once that integrity is breached, it's going to be really hard to kind of garner that trust back with your audience. Because it's one of those where once you did use AI art in your process and you said you did, now we don't know which pieces used it, which pieces didn't. And I've seen a lot of artists who are accused of use and have proven to use AI have the same issue, where they'll make new art pieces, but people won't believe them anymore. They'll make new pieces without AI, but people don't believe them because you've used AI in the past. I think the best example is being a cheater. People can cheat in the past relationships and not cheat in current relationships, but it's an integrity thing. And the moment people know you are a cheater, depending on the person and how they react to it, whatever, your future partners, that is. A lot of times, future potential partners are gonna have a lot harder time trusting you because you have cheated in the past. And hopefully you can change and become a better person and not cheat anymore in relationships. I truly hope people can. But you also can't be too surprised if potential romantic partners in the future don't want to date you because you have this in your history. It is what it is. Same thing with AI art. It ruins your integrity as an artist. And if you have used AI in the past, even if you don't do it in the future, a lot of people aren't going to believe you. But our main question is your overall stance. Has your stance changed? And they haven't really talked about that at all. Hopefully they can change and be a better person and not support AI art. They're still a beautiful artist though, so it is what it is.